Most people don't fail at manifesting business success because they lack strategy or mindset. They fail because they're blind to the gap between what they say they want and what they're actually doing. Today, I'm going to show you the 10 hidden clarity gaps that sabotage your business success, even when you're working really hard and you think you're doing all the right things. This is Hexotica, where unconventional creatives turn marketing into momentum and manifestation into money. We're here to build online businesses that support alternative lifestyle freedom. I'm your host, marketing mentor, Christine Rice, and this is episode 38. Hello, lovely guts. I'm so glad that you are here. Today, we're going to be talking about something for my manifesting witches out there who are maybe suffering from that disconnect between their big vision and their big business dream and what they're actually getting. And if you feel that you are trying so hard, if you are impatient, then this episode is for you. I'm super excited to be sharing some of the breakthrough questions that helped me get to where I wanted to be faster and that I would be asking you in our mentoring if we were to work together. So last week, I nearly died from perimenopausal hot flashes. I'll talk more about that later. I also had some personal tragedy that happened that I had to kind of process. But after having the week off, I thought I'd get back and I would just jump into some very useful things that are valuable to you that I think that you can immediately put into use after listening to this episode. Okay, so let's get started. So here's why I think we need clarity in addition to a proven strategy or good mindset skills. And that is because clarity in manifesting business success isn't just knowing what to do or feeling capable enough to do it. Clarity is spotting that gap between the way that you visualize your success in your head and the picture that your actions are actually painting what you're really doing, right? So it's easy to think or say that you want to be a six-figure business owner, right? But if you're not committed to growing and nurturing your email list, if you have not updated your Facebook business profile in like 5 years, or your personal Facebook profile still has dog ears from some dog ear filter from like 5 years ago, or you've never outsourced a single task for your business because you're too afraid of giving some VA a login detail, then you're not seeing that your actions and your thoughts are not aligned. You're not seeing that. You are acting one way. You're saying you want one thing, but you are acting in another way. That's a gap there, right? And not even the savviest marketing strategy or even the most abundant as fuck mindset is going to help you see that sometimes. Sometimes you just need to ask the right questions. Asking the right questions is the way to get clarity on that gap. So questions give you insight, they give you direction, they remove doubt, they remove hesitation, and most important of all, they can help you correct that energetic misalignment. So as an alternative lifestyle mentor with over 18 years of experience in online business, this is exactly what I do. I spot all the hidden clarity gaps between your mindset and your marketing through asking you the right questions. Questions that shine the light on what you believe you are doing and what you are actually doing. Between what you want to create and what you are actually creating. The areas of disconnect, low frequency, half-hearted actions, or actions that are just missing altogether. And actions that you may not even be aware that you need to take or stop taking. So today, I'm going to walk you through the 10 most common clarity gaps that are blocking you from manifesting business success. 10 surefire red alert signs that you're not walking the talk when it comes to marketing and creating abundance in your life, and why it's definitely not any sort of personal failure on your part. It's perfectly normal and natural to have this learning curve between what you are hoping to do and you're desiring to do and what you need to be doing, right? but having an experienced professional marketing mentor like myself can help you get through that gap when we work together. So I'm going to take you through these 10 questions that I would be asking you if we were to work together to help you get that breakthrough clarity that you need to reach your goals. Because this is what I do. I love helping clients have that breakthrough, and it is a passion of mine to help people kind of see that disconnect where what they are dreaming of and what they really want is not what they are actually doing or creating. Sometimes you just need that insight. So let's get started. Number 1, what problem does your business actually solve? When I audit online businesses, I know from the very first moment when I visit a website, if you are clear on this one, okay? For example, if the top section of your website says, "Welcome, friends," or "Hi, I'm Christine, a marketing mentor," then I know that we've got to do some work on this area, right? Because knowing the problem that you solve in a market, even if you're selling handmade window baubles, is key to standing out, getting found, and meeting the unspoken needs and desires of your dream customer, right? But the trick with this question is that many business owners are not solving the actual problems that their customers have, okay? They're only solving their own business problems of trying to make money online. And that shows in phrases like, quote, "I am such and such with insert boring job title," and quote, "I help such and such with insert generic description," right? The result here is a forgettable brand and content that just doesn't speak to people's underlying emotional needs, okay? People don't buy help, you see? That's not the solution to the problem that you think it is. They are coming to you for a specific outcome, for a specific problem that they already know that they have, right? Or that they may not know that they have, and maybe you have to educate them on that. And this is true whether you are selling obvious problem solutions like resoling a pair of leather shoes, or if you're selling luxury items like feathered hair fascinators, or fascinators are what we call it in Australia, hair clips, right? With like feathers and flowers. I used to make those in my business many years ago. The problem is the underlying reason that people want to buy something, okay? So that problem is an emotional need more often than a practical one. Often we think about the practical problem, but we don't recognize the emotional problems and the emotional needs. And that's why even when you are selling something that's a luxury item like a fascinator, there's still an emotional underlying need, right? Like the fascinator might be like she's going to a wedding. Well, what she really wants in buying an amazing fascinator is status. She wants to look cool, or she wants to look edgy or something like that, that she wants to feel superior. So nailing down exactly what specific problem you are solving is one of the very first and most important steps that we will cover when we work together. Number 2, who specifically are you trying to help? Most business owners, they try to help everyone, right? And that is a massive mistake. Or they are not specific enough, or they're specific enough, not specific enough in the right way, right? And you're never helping just a type of specific person either. What you're helping is the version of them who they are waking up to become. You are helping them become the new version of themselves that they want to see themselves as. So in other words, when you market, you are helping them see the person that you can help them become, right? The transformation. So for example, with the wedding lady, if she wants to transform to be seen as someone who is more higher status, eccentric, artsy, and edgy with this amazing, obviously handcrafted fascinator, that's actually what she's seeking. She doesn't want to be her, school marmy self, like wearing the usual clothes that she wears around the house or to work, right? Like she wants to be this edgy woman who is attractive. Maybe she's looking for a date. Who knows, right? Like she's looking for the transformation to become this new version of herself. And that is who we want to specifically identify. What is it that your ideal dream customer wants to become? How are you going to help them see themselves as that new version of themselves? So we will nail down exactly who you're helping in extreme detail, not by like eye color, right? But by what's keeping them up at night, either in sweaty, hot flushed anxiety or in daydreamy fantasy, right? The fantasy of who they want to become. And we shift your marketing to start talking to the version of your customer who sleeps peacefully at night. Number 3, what result do people walk away with after working with or buying from you? So this isn't just what you sell. It's not what people just get from you. Okay. This is what are people going to remember about what they got from you? And that's not commonly what they think they are paying for. If it's like the unexpected and the unplanned experience around what they paid for. So let's use this fascinator example. Let's run with that because it's going well so far. And I think it's really important that you have a more practical kind of understanding of how these apply. So they think that they're buying a fascinator, right? You think that you're selling them a fascinator. But this fascinator, it has been handmade. It's got some really good details, some unusual thing about it that when people see it, when she wears it at the wedding, they're commenting on it. They're making a big deal out of it. Wow, look at that beadwork. It's amazing. And that's unusual. We don't see that made in a factory setting, right? Like that's not from a Walmart. And so the experience of that is it is entirely handmade. Now, in your marketing, you want to speak to that experience in a visceral way, right? You are speaking to these emotional shifts, the external behavioral habit changes, and new ways of living that will blow their minds, right? So for this fascinator, you would be saying, you are going to stand out at the wedding. This is going to catch attention. People are going to want to take photos of you wearing this fascinator so that they can tell their mama about it. That's the kind of thing that they're going to remember about it. And that kind of experience can be manufactured to a degree. But more importantly, in your marketing, it can be conveyed in the excitement, the language, and the packaging of how you're selling. So you would be telling people that you're going to stand out. You're going to be remembered. People are going to be taking, you can say exactly the words that I use. People are going to be taking photos of you to tell their mama about this fascinator. Like if you had humorous copywriting in your marketing, you could say things like that. That's what we want to really convey is what result are people going to get from buying from you. That the specifics in that result are going to help you sell. Number 4, if someone landed on your website or profile today, would they immediately know what you do and sell? And more importantly, do they know what they'll immediately get from what you're selling? They should know within the first 3 to 5 seconds upon landing on your website, right? It needs to be clear as fuck, right? They might even feel it before they understand it if your branding is sharp. There's a distinction here. Like there's a vibe, right? A pull, a sense of this is about becoming someone different, a very specific someone. Even if the mechanics of how they're going to get there aren't immediately clear, like everything is cohesive. So your website might say handmade fascinators, but the vibe of the website is edgy, it's cool, it's got that aura of the person that the woman wants to become, right? That's what I mean. That's the point. The right people, they don't need everything spelled out instantly, right? They recognize themselves in your brand's energy, the language, and the transformation that you're talking about. Many business owners, they will have a disconnect between the thing that they are selling and the vibe that they are emitting, right? So when I audit sites, that is one of the things that I will look for and help you with. What you're selling has to be clear, not just in what you're selling, but in how you are showing it. It's that kind of like not just stating something, but it's again, are you walking the talk? If you say that your fascinators are edgy and cool, is your branding? Is it all cohesive? That's what we're looking for here. Number 5, what stage of business and marketing are you in? Knowing the answer to this one will tell you exactly what to prioritize. And that will help you clear overwhelm because you'll see what needs to be done step by step, right? So in my marketing audit and treasure map service, I will very clearly see what a business owner has skipped or ignored in an essential foundation. There's 5 of them, right? For example, you can't skip the attraction stage of building a compelling and memorable brand and then just go straight into the marketing stage of making content, the interest stage, right? If you do that, then the 3rd stage of conversion is going to suffer depending on your business model, right? But each stage is also not just a marketing stage that you're building in your business, okay? And this is the key thing here. It's also about you becoming the person who can hold that stage of business that you're trying to build. So for example, many people can nail their branding, but their fear of being visible and making content that, they're using their voice or their image or God forbid their camera, they're showing up on camera, that's going to still get in the way of them having content that sells. So clarity matters most at every stage, right? But we also need to be able to identify where you're at and what may be blocking you at that stage and stopping you from going to the next stage. That is something that I would help you identify. Question 6, what part of your business feels heavy or lacking momentum? So going a bit deeper with momentum now, we talked about momentum where I might recognize what is missing from a stage in your business, but I'm also going to ask you, what is feeling heavy? What is feeling difficult for you? Because these are typically the areas where your energy is out of alignment. And it's usually not something that you need to do that is the problem, right? It's the energetic resistance underneath it. Now, these are the places that you are feeling stuck, where you're feeling like you're having to push things, where you're having to force it. They're where you are not feeling any creative flow, because creative flow is when you show up and you feel pulled, you feel excited, you feel like you're having fun, right? But the real question underneath this feeling pushed or pulled is that when you feel that you have to force something in your business, in any area that you feel that you are really struggling, what's usually happening there is that your identity has not fully caught up to what it is that you're trying to do. And when your identity is not there, when you're not showing up as who you need to be to do that task, that's when you're going to lose momentum. It's not from a lack of action or from trying, right? It's from a lack of internal alignment. Now, the fix for this is usually that we need to simplify things. We need to eliminate the things that you're not ready to do in your business. And we need to work on your identity to help you show up as the person who can do it. And that is not usually about putting more time and effort. So a big one here is social media. A lot of people hate social media, right? They hate it and they will say that it feels like a grind. And what I would try to suggest is that if you feel that you can't do your social media, you're not showing up as the business owner that you say you want to become. Because as a business owner, you would know that this is going to be the bridge that you need to build to get to your clients and your services, your customers, right? As a business owner who sees herself as a 5-figure business owner, she's not going to hate doing social media. She's going to see the importance of it. So there's that identity gap there, right? When you have resistance to showing up, you're overthinking it of your most of the time. You're overcomplicating it. It could be as simple as hiring someone else to do this social media for you. It could be as simple as eliminating a lot of those platforms that you don't enjoy. Like if you don't enjoy Instagram, I don't like Instagram that much. I'm moving everything to Facebook and Threads because I like text-based platforms. So that's kind of what we would look at is, are you trying to really push yourself in an area that you are not enjoying? And if you're not enjoying it, there's an identity gap there. Like you should be in creative flow. You should be enjoying yourself with your business, right? So we strip things down for you. We find the areas that you're not moving, where there's an identity gap or you're overcomplicating it. We get back to who it is that you want to be. What is it that you want to be doing? How can you get that flow on in that area? All right. And so the next question for manifesting business success that we need to think about and get clarity on. Number 7, what are you avoiding because you're unsure if it's the right move? Here is the thing with not being sure if you should do something or not, right? It's not really about the thing itself. What's happening is that you are avoiding the possibility of being seen as the wrong version of yourself. It's not because the right move isn't strategic or doesn't make sense. It often makes great sense, but it just doesn't make sense for us because it feels like an identity risk. Now, this so often shows up when people are afraid to, for example, start posting on their personal Facebook pages because they don't want all their friends and their family to see that they are running a business and that they are moving into business mode. And if you've been employed for most of your life and then you suddenly start a business and you suddenly start doing posts on your Facebook page as a business owner, it makes perfect sense to do that, right? That's a very strategic thing to do. And yet the reason why so many people struggle with it is not because it makes sense, but because they can't embrace the identity. They don't want to be seen as that identity. That identity makes them feel uncomfortable. That's just an example, right? They're afraid that if they show up and things don't land, if it doesn't work out, that if they make that commitment, it doesn't feel like them, right? Now, this avoidance is weirdly just one of the ways that our brain, that instinctual part of our brain, it's just trying to protect us, right? Because it doesn't want to move into this new identity. So avoidance usually shows up when you're subconsciously experiencing an underlying fear of the unknown. Your brain is working in the back alleys of your awareness, seeking safety and certainty, right? But here's the thing. Certainty never arrives before action. It comes through it. This is where accountability comes in and why working with a mentor is a fast track to accelerate your business and your revenue growth. You're not fighting your brain alone. I supply these big safety nets to get you to take that leap and to get the confidence to do it and to give you the assurance, like this is how it is done. To give you the assurance that, yeah, when you post on your personal Facebook page after years of being employed, it's going to feel really weird. And you're probably not going to have a lot of people engaging at first. But then we need to do this step and this step and this step. And then you're going to have people show up. So in marketing, the right move it's rarely obvious up front, right? It only becomes clear through consistent action and feedback and through self-trust. And I help you learn how to simplify your work that you need to do to get to your goals and show you how understanding your analytical data can help you replace the guesswork. When you feel more certainty and confidence, your subconscious and conscious parts of the brain are finally going to start to work together and you're going to start to get shit done. So, for example, with the Facebook page, again, the way that I would help you do this with analytical data to replace the guesswork is by reading the data that's not so obvious with likes and comments and whatnot, right? Like there's other things that you can look for, other signals that are going to show you that people are maybe lurking, but they're still contacting you. They're still seeing what you are posting. And that's how I would help you do that. All right. So the next clarity breakthrough question that's going to help you manifest business success is number 8. What decision have you been postponing for months? So have you been thinking about starting a podcast? Have you been thinking about investing in a business program or mentor? Have you been thinking about hosting a networking event for months and months and months now? If so, that indecision is most likely stuck because of an old identity of yourself, far more than it's stuck on an issue of time, money, or anything practical. So if people say it's time or money or overwhelm, it's not. It's usually identity more than anything. Indecision happens when we fear how a decision will force us to change how we see ourselves. So it's about the meaning that you are giving that new identity. and all the stories that your brain is making up around how you see that new identity. That postponed decision that you have is usually tied to a version of you that you are not fully ready to embody yet. So choosing that new identity, it would mean that you can't go back to your old identity. You can't go back to safety or to your old excuses, right? So the real tension happening in your brain when you are sitting on a decision for months or years or whatever is, if I choose this, then I have to become someone who follows through. And that's where the resistance lives. Not in the decision, but in the identity shift that it demands. And that is why it's so scary. So when it comes to manifesting business success, postponed decisions are almost always identity problems in disguise. And the longer that you delay in gaining clarity on who you need to become, the more momentum you are going to lose. So for example, if you say that you want to turn your creative business into a full-time 6-figure self-employment, but you are not actively defining who you are as a 6-figure entrepreneur, you don't know who that is, you don't know how she acts, you don't know how she behaves, you don't know how she invests or what she is doing with her marketing, then you are still going to be operating like an employee with a creative hobby business. Okay? You're going to be afraid to invest in software, afraid to invest in contracted help, afraid to invest in education or paid ads. You have to know who you are becoming to act like that person now. At some point, you don't need any more thinking about it. You don't need any more books. You don't need any more courses. You don't need to take notes or listen and wait, right? You need to make a decision and you need to take action so that you can learn what actually works. So a lot of the mentoring work that I do is helping you bridge that gap between how you see yourself so that you can make better decisions that reflect the identity that you are stepping into. So as you can see, the marketing strategy and all of the implementation, that is only one side of it. So much of the work here with business is in helping you do the work with the identity shift. Number 9, what is the next obvious step in your business and why haven't you taken it yet? So unlike number 8, which is postponing big decisions, what we're talking about here are the things that you already know that you need to be doing now. It's kind of like healthy eating and exercise. Like we know we're supposed to eat healthy and exercise, but a lot of us don't do it, right? These are the things that you know you should be doing, but you aren't. We need to find out why. You need to get clear on this if you want to manifest business success, because like most people, you probably already know what you need to do, right? You have enough information. You know why it is important. You probably have too much information. So the issue is whether you're willing to trust yourself to take action on what you already know. The obvious next step is only ever blocked by a lack of commitment. And once again, this is because of the ding, 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 identity lag. So you're still negotiating with an old version of yourself that is still hanging out, dragging future you down, wanting more certainty, more permission, and more reassurance. It can usually be something so simple that you're putting off, right? Like you're not reaching out to potential clients. You're not getting on video. You're not ever doing any live videos, or you're not really committing to one consistent marketing channel in a way that feels unfamiliar to the old you. And you haven't taken that next step because you are overthinking, you're making excuses, or you're just waiting for perfect timing, right? Like what you're doing is you are literally waiting for the version of yourself that you can trust. The version that always steps up, that always takes action, that makes all of this shit look easy, right? But that version of you does not exist yet. She needs you to get clear on who she is and who she's supposed to become before you can manifest her. So that's why we need clarity, right? So in mentoring, It's this work of helping you identify why you have not taken that next obvious step, and the work that AI and no amount of information is ever going to be able to replace. You have to do the deep work to ask yourself these questions to get clear on this, because until you do, there's going to be a misalignment. And lastly, number 10, are you actively pursuing rejection? Yes, rejection. Because manifesting business success is the belief that success is both possible and inevitable, right? So if you truly believed that your success was inevitable, then you would not fear rejection, would you? You'd be putting yourself in many, many uncomfortable situations, willingly facing a lot of rejection, willingly being able to have the courage to do exactly what you believed in with the calm self-assurance that you are going to win. It may take time, but you know that you are going to bloody win it, right? So this is the reality check on manifesting money for my manifesting witches out there. If you truly believe in something, you will be fearless about not receiving it. You will have the courage to act on your fears. You will know that it's coming. So for example, if you're not afraid of looking cringe on a live video or of the lack of engagement on your social media content, no fear about going to business networking events or meeting people, no fear with pitching, no fear with emailing people, then you are taking action confidently as if you've already won. Business then becomes a fun numbers game. That's the mindset I kind of want you to shift into here. Rather than see fear as something that's hard to overcome, see it as a numbers game. You no longer have to beat yourself up for all the numbers that don't pan out for you, because you know that with a set number of tries, you are going to win it, right? So what if it doesn't work out? Just keep playing, keep having fun. And not only are you 100% guaranteed to succeed, but you'll also have the most magnetic as fuck energy about you. You're having all that fun, you're making content, and you are enjoying making it. It does not work the other way around through force and grind and bitching and complaining. You've got to have fun and embrace all the rejection coming your way. So what does this look like? What does it look like? It looks like a freshly tilled garden of nothing but fertile soil and seeds. Okay, so it looks very plain right now. But you don't question that if you keep watering all those seeds in the soil, that it's going to grow eventually, right? You will eventually have your basil and your mint and your tomatoes and your spaghetti squash. I really miss spaghetti squash. It's very hard to find in Australia. So right now your field is bare, right? But you don't see that field being bare as a reason to give up, right? You know that you just have to be patient. You may not see the growth happening under the soil, but it is happening. So this is what mentoring with me will help you accelerate. All right. So overall, manifesting business success is about working with a proven marketing strategy and the mind game skills to follow it. So you can't do one without the other. We cannot underestimate the importance of these mind game skills. So an alternative lifestyle transformation marketing mentor like myself can ask you the right questions that can get you to grow. And as you grow, so does your business revenue and your success. So if you are ready to team up with me to make magic happen, an easy first step for you is my Swan Marketing Audit and Treasure Map. This is an audit of your online presence, all of your social media channels, your website, everything that you've done online so far with your business idea or what you've already started. And then we will look at it together. So I look for what is working, what is not working, and I help you see what may be blocking you from manifesting your business success now. You'll get a custom deep dive audit on your creative business, and we'll spend 60, sometimes 90 minutes going over what I found so that we can talk about where you are now and where you want to be. So this is an introductory $300 Australian investment. That's like only $214 USD with the current exchange rate, by the way. And if you love it, which I know that you will, because there is nothing juicier than talking about your big business dream one-on-one for over an hour, then we can continue to work together in one of my Swan mentoring programs that is appropriate for where you want to go and what you want to learn. So I'll help you get to your dream revenue goals, whether that's making a creative side hustle that can pay off a new car, or if it's replacing a salary, or if it's doubling what your business is earning now, or if it's changing your entire career. Like if you wanted to become a social media manager, that would be in my Swan agency program. But right now, until the end of May, this treasure map and audit includes the one-on-one consult. But after May, I'm no longer going to be offering that as a part of it. And I'll just be sending a recording of what I found with the Google slideshow to you with the audit. So get in now to get the audit with the consult before it becomes an additional cost. So click the link in the show notes to get the treasure map today, and beware, spots are limited, like actually limited, because I only have so much time in a month. And I've already got some clients that I'm working with. So when I say limited, I'm not bullshitting you. These spots are actually limited because I am limited by my time. I am still a solopreneur. So click the link in the show notes to get that. I would love to help you get your business idea off to a good running start to manifest business success. All right, lovely guts. So if you have listened to all of the podcasts and you're still here with me, then I know with 100% certainty that you have in you the ability and the capability to become successful. You are putting in the time to learn all about the marketing and the business mindset that you need. Now, my challenge to you, however, is don't just listen to podcasts. Don't just hear my questions. Go and journal these questions. Go and ask yourself the reasons, the why behind each one. Really get to know your own mind so that whatever marketing strategy you are following or that you hope to follow or that you hear about, you have the mindset resilience and the understanding about yourself and how strong your mission is that you can make it happen. Don't get stuck in just listening and learning mode, okay? Go out and take action. Become that person that you want to be when you listen to this podcast, when you get inspired, when you feel that fire in you. That's you, your future self calling you to take action. Okay, and if this podcast hit at the right note, if you loved it, please let another person know. Give a hexia on the comments of YouTube or share it with a friend who needs to hear the same message. If you have a business partner or a friend who is also struggling, let them know that this is the work that they need, because there's a lot of marketing strategies out there, but there's not a lot of mindset stuff, and you need a combination of both. So that's the end of the podcast. Now let me tell you a little bit about what was happening. So I'm in Australia, but my family is in Atlanta and in Alabama. My dad lives in Alabama and he's 80 years old. And last year he fell off his motorcycle. So in addition to all the hot flashes, which I literally was experiencing as I was recording this, I'm also processing the distance between me and my family. Now I am heading home later this year and I can't wait to do that. But it's the fear that I live with every single day that something will have happened to my parents or to one of my family members back home, because it's just a feeling of utter helplessness, being too far away to be there in the hospital, to even hear the details of what's happening. It's really hard. So I think even though I try to work on it on a conscious level, there is a subconscious fear of the worst case scenarios at the back of my mind. Another thing is, though, I'm not someone who will ever who will just disappear from a podcast. if I decide to take a month off or 6 months or a year off, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to jump on here and I'm going to do a 2 or 3 minute recording to say, hey, something's happened, or, a big storm came, or, my house burned down, or something like that. I will get on here and I will let you know. I think it's terrible how there's so many podcasts out there that you get into listening to, and then sometimes they just drop off. They just completely leave and you don't know what happened to that person. Are they still in business? Are they alive? You form a relationship sometimes with the people that you're listening to. And so my promise to you is that I will show up and let you know if anything happens in my life where I can no longer regularly come out here. So, I might miss once in a while because, ADHD brain, but if I will never miss twice. That's my rule to myself for a lot of things in my business. Never miss twice. All right, lovely. So thank you so much for listening. As usual, if you enjoyed the podcast, leave a Hexia in the comments, and I will see you next week. Until then, have a lovely week, work on your big dream, and bye.